How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Grimm from the Bug Out Boys, and welcome to another bot. And this bot is titled, Know Your Neighbor. Now, it doesn't matter where you live, you have neighbors. They could be right on top of you, like an apartment complex, right next to you because you live in a townhome, maybe a couple yards away because you're in a single-family home, or miles away because you're fortunate to live out in the country. But either way, you have neighbors, and you should probably get to know them. Why? For your own safety. Now, I'm not talking about you're living next to a terrorist cell or murderers or anything like that. I mean, you could, that'd be bad, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, are your neighbors an asset or a liability? Because that's going to influence what you do during that survival bug out situation. Do you bug in or do you bug out? Do you bug out with your neighbors or do you bug out alone? So you want to know your neighbor. And there's little ways that you can find this out. For example, just observe them if you wish. And what do they do during a power outage? Well, what do they do when the water's out? What do they do if your street gets snowed in? Do they get out there with the rest of the neighborhood and help dig you all out? Or do they just stay in their home and wait for someone else to do it? Are they very sharing, like, I'll bring you over a cup of sugar? Or is that just theirs? Their land? Are they, oh yeah, you can walk through my yard? Or is it, keep off signs everywhere? These are very important things. What are their political views? What's their religion? Which way does their moral compass swing? These are all little tidbits that could give you an idea of whether your neighbors are, once again, an asset or a liability. So how do you find that out? Because let's be honest, every area is a bit different. New Yorker neighbors are different than Colorado neighbors. Also, I've seen a general trend that neighbors are not that neighborly anymore. Like, you see in the shows of Leave It to Beaver and stuff like that. So it might be a little bit difficult. You could go the tried and true traditional route and knock on doors, introduce yourself, have little conversations, that I remember my parents telling me they used to invite their neighbors over. You could go that route. That's one way of doing it. You could also maybe create a Facebook group. I have a couple of friends that someone in their neighborhood has already created a Facebook group that is for their neighborhood. And you could be the creator, or you could just join it. And either way, you just observe. Who's the one telling you about, I don't know, some people coming down the street, or solicitors, I don't know, or parking in my spot. You can learn a lot from what people post on Facebook and in your group. Find out who's a little bit more, dare I say it, cantankerous than others. Also, you can find out how old they are, what possibly medical condition they are. Are they old and feeble, or are they young and strong, asthmatic, allergic? There's a lot of information that one can take in, whether by doing it in person or possibly doing on Facebook, that could really help you decide what you want to do when it comes to that survival situation. So, get to know your neighbors. And if you enjoy this bot, please do subscribe, because there's going to be more bots, Pioneer Preps, reviews, Talk in the Woods, and Bug Out Boy episodes along the way. And if any questions, comments, ideas of your own, of, neighbors, please leave those down below in the comment section. I love to read them, and I'll get back to you. So till then, take care.